There's something in your coffee that's draining your energy instead of giving it to you, and you don't even know it's happening. Most men over 60 drink coffee because they need the caffeine. They wake up tired, they drink coffee, and for 2 hours they have energy. Then it crashes. By mid-morning, they're exhausted again. They drink more coffee. By afternoon, they're jittery and wired, but still tired underneath it all. By evening, they can't sleep. Then they wake up exhausted, and the cycle repeats. This isn't coffee's fault. This is what happens when you drink coffee on an empty stomach or without the compounds that stabilize caffeine metabolism in your body. Here's the physiology. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant. It blocks adenosine receptors in your brain, which is how it creates the sensation of wakefulness. But caffeine metabolism in men your age is slower than it was at 30. Your liver processes it more slowly. Your blood sugar handling is less stable. When you drink coffee without anything to stabilize your blood sugar and your digestion, the caffeine hits your system hard and fast, creates a spike in cortisol and adrenaline, and then crashes when your blood sugar drops. That crash is exhaustion. That's why you reach for coffee again. The solution is simple. Add 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee to your coffee and add 1 tablespoon of medium-chain triglyceride oil, MCT oil. That's it. 2 additions. These 2 compounds work together to do 3 specific things. They slow the absorption of caffeine so you get a sustained release instead of a spike and crash. They stabilize your blood sugar throughout the morning, and they provide your brain with an immediate fuel source that doesn't depend on glucose metabolism. Let's break down what each one does. Butter and ghee contain fat-soluble vitamins, butyric acid, and conjugated linoleic acid. When you add fat to your coffee, you slow gastric emptying, the rate at which your stomach moves food into your small intestine. That slower movement means the caffeine enters your bloodstream more gradually. Instead of a spike at 10 minutes that crashes at 90 minutes, you get a sustained elevation over 3 to 4 hours. That's the difference between being wired, then crashed, and being steadily alert all morning. But there's more to it. Butter and ghee contain butyric acid, which is a short-chain fatty acid. Your colon actually produces butyric acid when you eat fiber, and it's one of the most important compounds for your gut health and your metabolic function. When you consume it directly, you're feeding your gut bacteria the substrate they need to produce more of it, and you're also supporting your mitochondrial function. Butyric acid crosses the blood-brain barrier and directly supports brain energy production. That's not a side effect. That's a major mechanism. Now, MCT oil. MCT stands for medium-chain triglyceride. These are fats that bypass normal fat digestion and go directly to your liver where they're converted into ketones. Ketones are an alternative fuel source for your brain. Your brain usually runs on glucose, but ketones are a much cleaner, more stable fuel source. When you consume MCT oil, your body has immediate ketone availability, which means your brain has immediate energy that doesn't depend on blood sugar. This is why people on ketogenic diets report clarity and sustained energy. MCT oil gives you a taste of that without requiring a full keto diet. Here's what happens in your body in the first 30 minutes after you drink coffee with butter and MCT oil. The MCT oil is absorbed rapidly and converted to ketones. Your brain immediately has a fuel source. The caffeine, combined with the fat, is absorbed more slowly, so you don't get a spike. Your blood sugar is supported by the fat, so you don't get the reactive hypoglycemia that causes the afternoon crash. Your gut bacteria get fed with butyric acid, which improves your microbiome health and supports your intestinal barrier. By 90 minutes, you should feel sustained alertness. Not jittery, not wired. Calm alertness. Focused. Your energy should feel stable. By 3 to 4 hours, the caffeine effect will start to fade naturally. But because you have sustained ketone production from the MCT oil and stable blood sugar from the fat, you won't experience the sudden crash. You'll just gradually return to baseline. That's normal. That's healthy. Then you can have lunch and your energy is stable throughout the afternoon. Now the specific protocol. Here's what actually works. 1 cup of black coffee. Doesn't matter if it's regular or decaf for this discussion. Though regular coffee has the most research. 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee. 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. Blend them together. Don't just stir it. Blend it so the fat emulsifies into the coffee. You want it to be creamy, not separated. You can use a hand milk frother, a regular blender, or even a shaker bottle if you're doing this at work. The emulsification matters because it helps your digestion. Drink it on an empty stomach or with minimal food. The point is to get the fat and caffeine combination in and to not muddy the effect with a full meal. Most men do this first thing in the morning. Some men do it at 7 a.m., some at 8. The timing matters less than the fact that you're doing it before your main meal. What about breakfast? You can eat breakfast after the coffee or you can wait 30 to 40 minutes. Most men find that if they wait a little while, they have even more sustained energy because they're operating on ketones before they introduce glucose from food. But if you're hungry, eat. The coffee butter MCT combination won't be as powerful on a full stomach, but it will still work better than black coffee alone. The butter part is non-negotiable for a reason. Regular butter, not margarine, not coconut oil, not seed oils. Grass-fed butter is slightly better because it has higher levels of conjugated linoleic acid and butyric acid, but regular butter works fine. The point is that butter has been used in coffee for decades in various cultures, and there's a reason. It's stable at high temperature. It emulsifies well, and it contains exactly the compounds your body needs for sustained energy. Ghee is even better if you can get it because it's clarified butter with the milk solids removed, which means it's pure butterfat with 0 lactose. If you have dairy sensitivity, ghee is your choice. MCT oil is a bit more specific. Not all MCT oils are created equal. You want pure MCT oil, not a blend with coconut oil. The difference matters because different chain lengths of triglycerides behave differently. C8 and C10 MCTs are what you want. Those are the ones that convert most efficiently to ketones. C12, which is in coconut oil, is less efficient. Most MCT oil supplements are blends. Read the label and make sure it specifies C8 and C10, or at least mostly C8. Bulletproof makes a popular one. Onnit makes one. Nutricost makes a cheap one that works fine. The brand matters less than the composition. How much are we talking in terms of calories and macros? 1 tablespoon of butter is about 100 calories, all from fat. 1 tablespoon of MCT oil is about 120 calories, all from fat. So your coffee is now 220 calories of pure fat, plus the negligible calories in the coffee. That's 24 grams of fat. Is that a lot? In the context of a day of eating, no. Most men your age eat 50 to 70 grams of fat per day. This is 1/3 of that. And because it's primarily MCT oil and butyric acid, it's not the same as eating a steak. Your body handles it very differently. Here's where this gets interesting for men your age specifically. Ketone metabolism actually improves with age. In a way. As you age, your body naturally becomes less efficient at glucose metabolism. That's why insulin resistance develops. But your body remains quite capable of using ketones for fuel. In fact, some research suggests that ketones might be preferable fuel for aging brains because they produce less oxidative stress. When you add MCT oil to your coffee, you're essentially giving your aging brain a fuel source it actually prefers. The energy return is significant if you've been operating on blood sugar crashes for years. Most men your age have been doing the same thing for decades. Wake up, drink black coffee, experience a spike and crash, drink more coffee, get through the day on fumes. When they switch to coffee with butter and MCT, the difference is shocking to them, not because it's magic, because it's actually supporting their physiology instead of fighting it. Within 3 days of doing this consistently, most men report better sustained energy. Within 1 week, they report better focus and clarity. Within 2 weeks, they report that they don't crash in the afternoon anymore. Within 1 month, many men report that their sleep improves because they're not dealing with the cortisol dysregulation that comes from constant blood sugar crashes and stimulant spikes. Now there's a variation that's even more powerful. Instead of just butter and MCT, add collagen peptides. 1 scoop, about 10 grams, of grass-fed collagen peptides mixed into your buttered coffee. Collagen is mostly the amino acid glycine and proline. Glycine is metabolically calming. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system even as the caffeine is activating your sympathetic system. This creates a balanced state. You get alert without being wired. You get calm without being tired. Additionally, collagen supports your gut barrier, your joints, your skin, and your muscle tissue. There's no downside to adding it. The full protocol, then, is this: 1 cup of black coffee, 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee, 1 tablespoon of MCT oil, 1 scoop of collagen peptides if you have it, blend it, drink it. Wait 30 to 45 minutes if possible before eating. That's your morning baseline. That single drink will sustain your energy until lunch, stabilize your blood sugar, support your brain with ketones, feed your gut bacteria, and support your connective tissue health. What about the rest of your coffee consumption? Can you drink more coffee during the day? Yes, but with conditions. 1. Any coffee after 10 a.m. should be black or with just a small amount of cream, no more MCT or butter, because that will interfere with sleep. 2. Space your caffeine out. Coffee at 7 a.m., maybe another at 10 a.m., nothing after noon if you want good sleep. Most men your age have a cortisol pattern that already struggles to downregulate in the evening. Excessive afternoon caffeine makes sleep worse, which makes energy worse, which makes them reach for more caffeine. Break that cycle. Here's something most people miss about energy management after 60. Your energy isn't actually declining because you're old. It's declining because your metabolic flexibility is declining. Metabolic flexibility is your body's ability to switch between using glucose and using fat for fuel. Young men have high metabolic flexibility. They can eat a carb-heavy diet and do fine because their bodies can access stored fat easily for fuel. Men your age have lower metabolic flexibility. When you eat carbs and don't have sustained glucose availability, your energy crashes because your body can't access fat for fuel efficiently. When you add MCT oil and fat to your coffee, you're directly improving your metabolic flexibility. You're training your body to use fat, specifically ketones, as a fuel source. Over time, as you do this consistently, your entire metabolic function improves. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your energy becomes more stable. Your appetite regulation improves. Your mood improves. None of that is because of the coffee. It's because you're supporting your metabolism instead of fighting it. The reason most men don't do this is simple. It seems too simple. They expect energy to come from something complicated, a supplement, a powder, some exotic ingredient, not from butter in their coffee. But simplicity is often a sign that something is actually aligned with human physiology. Your body doesn't need complexity. It needs the right fuel, the right proportions, and consistency. One practical note. If you've been drinking black coffee for decades, your digestive system might need a day or two to adjust to the fat. You might feel slightly nauseous or have mild digestive disruption. That passes. Your liver and gallbladder need to upregulate bile production, which takes 48 to 72 hours. By day 3 or 4, digestion normalizes and you feel fine. If nausea persists beyond a week, use less MCT oil. Start with a teaspoon instead of a tablespoon, and work your way up. Here's the thing about energy after 60. Most of it isn't neurological, most of it is metabolic. It's about whether your body has stable fuel, whether your blood sugar is stable, whether your mitochondria have the compounds they need to produce ATP efficiently. A cup of black coffee addresses none of that. Coffee with butter and MCT addresses all of it. So here's your action this week. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, make this drink. 1 cup of coffee, 1 tablespoon of butter or ghee, 1 tablespoon of MCT oil blended together. Drink it. Notice what happens in the first 30 minutes. Notice your energy level at 90 minutes. Notice whether you have an afternoon crash. Most men do this once and understand immediately why it works. Your body responds to fuel. Good fuel creates good energy. Bad fuel creates bad energy. That's not theory. That's physiology. For the next 30 days, do this every morning. Track your energy levels. Track your sleep quality. It usually improves. Track your mental clarity. Track whether you're crashing in the afternoon. After 30 days, you'll have a baseline for what sustained energy actually feels like, and you'll understand what your body actually needs. The deeper point is this: the energy you're missing at 70 isn't gone. It's there. Your body just forgot how to access it because you've been training it to run on blood sugar spikes and crashes for 40 years. A single change in what you put in your coffee can rewrite that pattern. Not overnight, but within weeks. That's how powerful the right fuel is. Next video, I'm going to show you the one movement pattern that prevents falls after 60 and why most men your age are at high risk without even knowing it. It's something you can do in 5 minutes a day, and it's the difference between staying independent and losing your independence in one accident. Watch it.